fastest time coming in, 46.50, corrected to 46.48. So that becomes the time to beat. It will be a two-section final, as you can't get 8 people on this track, and they always have those 2 lanes open.
We talk about this being a time trial, and that's exactly what you saw. Go, I'm sure he talks it over with his coach and says, Zach, get the lead. Zach knows this. The other guys know that they should get the lead as well. And if you don't, then you try and plot your strategy to stay on the inside as best you can, draft off somebody and swing wide down the home stretch. Bilderback having a career year this year. He's really running better than he ever has before. By the way, also a top 10% student in the classroom.
There are the official results. It was a close finish at the end, but Zach Bilderback does get the leading time now, 46.48. Will London of Baylor with 46.50, and then Armin Gino Hall with 46.59. He thinks this track is not as fast as the University of Arkansas, and that the times might be reflective of that. Okay, heat number 2 on the track. And we're looking at Arkansas senior Marquise Washington. He enhances his performance with visualization before the race.
I replay the whole race before it actually happens. And I just run me going through the break point. I watch how it is, and I just watch how I transition coming in through the backstretch and making sure I'm striking right and my form is right, and just don't get out of whack of everything. Make sure I'm on top of everything.
Well, he's been on top of his training sessions and talking with his coaches this year. He had a very fine lead up to the SEC championships and has one of the top times in the country. Of the world. Only 4 people have better times. One of them he may face in the final, Michael Cherry. But that's world rankings. He's number 5 based upon his time. Aldrich Bailey, a transfer from Texas A&M a couple of years ago, is eligible now and big star in high school, and he is rounding into form well.
So Marquez Washington will be in lane 4. That's a little on the tight side. Not so much on this track as it is down in Arkansas. Aldrich Bailey Jr. of Texas will be in lane 5. Obi Igbokwe, Arkansas freshman, will be out in lane number 6. They'll stay in their lanes until they fully complete the second turn, and then they will cut for the pole, and it's so important to get the pole in this 400 meters. 46.48, the time established by Zach Bilderback in the very first heat. And the 8 finalists will be determined completely on time. It will be a 2-section final, and the winner of the final will be also determined on time. You can win it out of either section of the 400 and 200 meter finals.
Marquez, a junior college transfer. Last year having a great senior year. Oh, gee.
I don't know what is going on out there, but I have a feeling that they may not give this guy the benefit of the doubt.
That is probably the biggest jump we've ever seen.
That is Obi Igbokwe, the freshman from Arkansas. And remember, he qualified to get here. It's not easy to do, especially in this event. And you got to wonder what was going on there. And I'm sure some other coaches might be wondering that as well, but he is disqualified for a false start. And that wasn't even close. Wow, watch this. Oh, gee. Oh, gee. I mean, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt that maybe he was a little bit nervous. Freshman, right? He'll go again. Yes, a freshman. So lane 6 now open. Kyle Collins in 3. Marquez Washington of Arkansas in 4. And then Aldrich Bailey Jr. of Texas in 5. The bank on this turn reminds me a little bit more of the Boston meet. I understand it, Reggie. At the Reggie Lewis Center. Fair start. Marquez Washington, look at that stride length that he unfurls was in that turn.
I think you'll see many of these other heats. We have a total of 4 going out in around 21.5 or 4 seconds. Let's see what they come by in.
Washington lagging and has a pained expression on his face. He's well back as Aldrich Bailey Jr. takes the pole position.
21.77 seconds. They got to get on their giddy up here.
And Washington is out. It looks like a cramp. He is off onto the infield. So it is Bailey chasing that 46.48 time of Zach Bilderback, his teammate, along with Kyle Collins. 46.68. Corrected to 46.66, so that won't even be in the top 3 times from the first heat, but we'll make note of it. Marquez Johnson, Washington out of the race on that backstretch. You could tell something was not right with him in that very first lap.
It looked to me also in the turn that things weren't quite right either. He was more floating, and maybe he knew, well, he's got a wrap there. See the wrap on the knee? And it didn't hold up, whatever the problem is. Coming home easily, Aldrich Bailey, but he's got to wait here.
Results, Aldrich Bailey Jr. of Texas, 46.66, followed by Kyle Collins. We'll have to see if that's a time that will hold up to get in the top 8. Third heat now, lane 4. This is Michael Cherry, the junior from LSU, who's run 45.61 this year, but did not have a memorable race at the SEC Championship, certainly not in terms of time or in place.
But he's got the 4th fastest time in the world as this young man. And only Deion Lindor of, Texas A&M fame and Trinidad, and Lalonde Gordon and Braylon Taplin, another A&M guy, have run faster in the world this year than Michael Cherry has. He's a transfer from FSU. That's correct, Florida State, and has just improved significantly here this indoor season.
There's Fitzroy Dunkley, the LSU senior, who drew lane 3. He's a pretty tall guy with very long legs. That lane 3 is very, very tough to negate in that first lap. 2 full turns you've got to run that are very, very tight.
These are 2 of the 4x4 guys for head coach Dennis Shaver that have the 3rd fastest time in the world right now in the 4x4.
So it's the 2 Bengal Tigers in 3 and 4. Texas and then Western Kentucky.
Pretty even so far.
Dunkley is back a bit because of that lane 3 being so tight, and he is so very tall. Michael Cherry in a good position to get the pole. Now here comes Dunkley, but that takes so much energy, that first lap. And on the outside, he's trying to get the pole, and he does get the pole. That is Emmanuel Desor of Western Kentucky who got the pole over Michael Cherry. And Cherry's better make the move because he doesn't want to do it in the turn. And Dunkley is right there as well. Cherry positioning himself to slingshot off that final turn and overhaul Desor. Now it's all about the time. Here comes Dunkley for second. And it looks like Cherry is going to post the fastest time so far, 46.35. So that overtakes Bilderback. And Fitzroy Dunkley, starting in lane 3, gets up to 46.51. That's going to be the 4th fastest time so far with 1 heat remaining.
Well, the times I thought might be just a little bit faster here, Dwight, by a few tenths across the board, but nonetheless, everybody's pretty well bunched together here. They went by that 200-meter mark in this race in 21.5 seconds. This is Cherry. Left lead leg to drive out. Different athletes will prefer a right or a left. As you mentioned, both of them, both Dunkley and Cherry, I would bet are at least 6'2", 6'3" in that range. Tall and rangy, great 400-meter runners. Smooth and calculating in the sense of when to move up and try and get that lead was Cherry. But he played his cards correctly here, used his arms well. I thought Dunkley ran a good race too. He did not have a chance to get that lead off the first turn, and he waited, bided his time, and moved up in the straightaway.
666 having the qualifier at this time. Lane number 3, the SEC champion. Number 3 on the collegiate list coming into this weekend. Number 3 in the U.S. and number 6 in the world. His personal best 45.78 Missouri freshman.
So we're waiting on official results, but we know Michael Cherry won the heat with the fastest time so far of the 3 heats contested, 46.35. And then Fitzroy Dunkley comes in with the 4th fastest overall after 3 heats, 46.51. That's a heck of a feat from lane 3.
Dwight, the SEC is known for great 400-meter running, fast 4x4s, exciting races. This is a very good example of it here because they've moved up and a number of them are doing well here. But the NCAAs also have tremendous 400-meter runners. Of the 7 fastest performers in the world this year so far, 4 of them are in these 4 heats. This is the 4th. Just a freshman at Missouri. This is Kamari Montgomery, the SEC champion as a freshman.
And no love. He gets lane 3, and he ran a very odd race to win that SEC title. He looked in the first lap like he really wasn't even trying, and then just ran almost a negative split in the second half of the race. Out lane 6, that is Najee Glass, finally a senior at Florida. No slouches in this heat, but Kamari Montgomery, lane 3, that's a tough draw.
Mason Strother, the sophomore from Tennessee, who's in lane 4, has had a very good year as well.
So they're chasing 46.35, but really what they're chasing is 46.60. That's the number 6 time right now, and that's probably what they're going to need under, I should say.
Wow.
And assure themselves in, and Najee Glass has no trouble getting that pole position, and Kamari Montgomery way back, but so he was at the SEC meet. So now let's see if he makes the kind of move he did there. He's given an awful lot away to some good quarter milers.
21.56 for Glass, kind of what others have done.
Montgomery doesn't have the move he had 2 weeks ago. Here is Najee Glass winning the heat. Let's take a look at the time as he's followed closely by Nathan Strother. And Glass at 46.31 gets the fastest time in the qualifying heats. And Nathan Strother at 46.52, he's going to be up in the top 5. Kamari Montgomery way back at 46.78. He will not contest tomorrow's 400 final.
Najee's mother took him to a track when he was 7 years of age and said, run the quarter. And there's some races here for kids. And he said he cried the whole way. Here he is coming down. Clear of the field by 2 steps. Amazing how much they gave these guys room. I can't believe they didn't get closer to Najee here, and they couldn't make up the distance, although Strother closed very well, and Montgomery got up for 3rd, but nonetheless, this for a 400-meter race of this caliber is being back in the pack.
So they saved the best for last. Najee Glass posts the fastest time in qualifying, 46.31. Nathan Strother will also get through on time at 46.52. And Kamari Montgomery, the SEC champion,